There was a time when Disney used to be safe for your kids. You could turn on Disney on your TV set and remain assured that he would be watching an innocuous Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse. But things are changing now. Disney is no longer the safe kids platform that it used to be. It is turning into a far left platform that imposes radical sexual agenda on your 5-year-old kids. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tejasvi Malhotra. Let's begin. The Walt Disney Co.'s campaign to impose radical sexual agenda on American kids by telling LGBTQ stories and adding queerness has been brutally exposed. And guess what? Far left employees at the company are not even being discreet about it. They are bragging about it. Journalist Christopher Rufo has released internal Disney videos in which Disney television animation executive producer Latoya Ravenue can be heard saying, "Our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my, not at all secret gay agenda." He further added, "I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness. No one would stop me and no one was trying to stop me."
And so it's not just a numbers game of how many LGBTQ plus characters you have. We got the further, the more centered a story is on a character, the more nuanced you get into their story.
Ravenue, however, isn't the only one pushing such an agenda that is not quite appropriate for the audience that watches Disney. Well, that's not it. Disney production coordinator Alan Marsh was also caught talking about a tracker in a video call. What does the tracker do? Well, it is used to meet self-imposed quotas for LGBT characters in Disney's Moon Girl TV series. And the point is not just to introduce LGBT characters in the shows that your kid is watching. Rather, the plan is to make queerness and sexual orientation the central theme of the shows. And this is what has attracted negative attraction to Disney from all over the globe. March said it's not just a numbers game of how many LGBTQ characters you have. The employee added, "The more centered a story is on a character, the more nuanced you get into their story, and especially trans characters. Kind of the only way to help these canonical trans characters, canonical asexual characters, canonical bisexual characters is to give them stories where they can be their whole selves." And yes, president of Disney General Entertainment, Carrie Book, was just as forthcoming on the issue. She said, "We had an open forum last week at 20th, presumably Disney-owned 20th Century Studios, where again, the home of really incredible groundbreaking LGBTQIA stories over the years." Book added, "One of our executives stood up and said, we only have a handful of queer leads in our content." And I went, "What? That can't be true." And I realized, it is true. We have many LGBTQIA characters in our stories, and yet we don't have enough leads. Guess what? Disney executives were making remarks about continuing the sexual orientation agenda during a virtual meeting to discuss Florida's parental rights in education law. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the legislation that states classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. How could you think that this can be beneficial to your child? I mean, there is a certain age at which such subjects should be spoken to children. As a result, there's nothing wrong with keeping discussions regarding sexual orientation and gender identity out of the hands of small children. This is why sex education is also not taught to children in kindergarten or grade 3. The law in Florida does not hurt or disrespect the LGBTQ community in any manner whatsoever. Despite this, anti-Florida propaganda is being circulated. In a leaked Disney call, activism partner Nadine Smith said, "We are acting from the reality that when they can erase you, when they can criminalize your existence, when they can demonize who you are, the next step is to criminalize you and take your kids." Disney has therefore been caught meddling with impressionable minds and forcing radical sexual agenda down the throats of 5-year-olds.